Hi, my name is Challa Prabhu. Today I am going to take a session on MadcapFlare. Uh, MadcapFlare is a powerful authoring tool designed for technical writers, content developers, and documentation specialists. It enables a user to create, manage, and publish content efficiently with features such as single sourcing, topic-based authoring, and multi-channel publishing. Flare provides an all-in-one solution for structured documentation. By the end of this session, you will be familiar with this interface, key features, and workflow. Hi, welcome everyone. In this session, we will explore the topic-based authoring using MadcapFlare. The goal is to give you a quick yet comprehensive overview of its features, functionality, and capabilities to help you get started with structured technical writing. In this presentation, I have around 15 to 18 features that I would like to cover so that it will make your life easier and using these features, and also it will help both novice as experienced users to quickly manage projects both as a single service provider as well as when you work in a documentation team. The reason why all these 18 items are being covered here is when most of the technical writers start working on MadcapFlare, they feel uncomfortable in the beginning, not knowing the properties of each and every topic or file that is associated to the project as well as to the table of contents. So in this presentation, I'm going to talk about each and every features and functionality, and I'm going to give a demonstration so that it will make you very easy to understand how to take full control of MadcapFlare. The first item here is double click the TOC entries. So here is MadcapFlare. So here you see the content explorer on the left and project organization. So these are two panels that you most often will be using this. And here I'm showing the list of files that are in the content explorer. Okay, and then the TOC, which contains all the topics related to that particular TOC. Remember, you can have more than one TOC, and the files are being referenced to each and every TOC. They are not copied, they are just referenced to the source file which is there in the Content Explorer. So let me begin with the TOC. So in the table of contents, there are certain situations when you double click on the TOC entry, the property dialog box opens, and on some other situation when you click on double click on the TOC, the topic file opens. So why is it so? Because if you see at this editors, if you see at this interface, on the right you see an arrow. This toggles between the property view and the topic view. So if I click this once and come here and double click on what's new, you will see that the property dialog box opens. And if I click this again and double click on what's new, you'll see the topic file opens. So for a novice user who is using Madcap for the first time, I would recommend that you take care of this particular property icon so that you can start working on the topic. And this interface also shows the structure bars on the right. So for a kind information, I would like to tell all the technical writers and people who are working on MadcapFlare to understand the cascading style sheet, which is a very important subject. It also will help you customize most of the things in using the standard W3 standard CSS. So we'll be using quite extensively here in this demonstration also. But I would like to say that the structure bars on the left actually gives you the attributes that are associated with the content inside. Now let me see the various types of view that we can have. We can see at this TOC. So now if you see this TOC is in a hierarchical tree structure, you see view tree. If you click on this view tree, it becomes a view grid. So this is a very easy way of knowing the properties of each and every topic that you have in the TOC. You can know whether any class is associated to it, what is the break type that is associated, whether it is associated to any template, what is the page layout that is associated to this particular topic, and page type, whether it is a topic, whether it is a first topic page or it is a subsequent pages. So all these are associated here. Similarly, this particular grid gives you the details of all the files within the TOC. Similarly, when you come here and I click on file list, you get a list of all the files that are there in the Content Explorer. Okay, so all these files, the files which are there in the Content Explorer, may not be associated to just one single TOC. You may have multiple TOC, and you also might have certain topics which are there in the Content Explorer in the particular TOC files. So here also you can just go and look at all the status of that particular topics with the CSS file, and here you can go and filter it and see how do you want this particular file, the list of topics to be filtered. You have topics files, you have template page layout, snippet files, micro content, images file, and also multimedia files and all this. So you can just filter it based on the query that you give in the filter dialog box. Okay. So in this view grid, you can also go and rearrange the column. So you can click on this particular button, which I'm showing you now, and then you can just go and you can just move those files. You can move this file and rearrange this column so that it is easy for you to know the status of that particular column and on what basis you want that column to be rearranged. Okay, and then you can or if you want to reset to the factory settings, you can click below and it will show you the standard table format that view grid came from the factory settings. So now the fourth item is we are going to see how to locate topics in TOC and locate it in Explorer. Now here, if you see the list of files that are there in TOC, it sometimes becomes sometimes the number of topics in the TOC is so lengthier that it may be very difficult for you to identify or to locate where that file is there in the Content Explorer. So you can just go to what's new and then right click and you can say locate in Explorer and you can see that particular file in the Content Explorer. Similarly, if you go to some projects here and just say, can you just tell me where is it in the look at the TOC, is going to show you where it is. So this way you can navigate to the list of files in the web. So as I told you, like if I come here and click on what's new and tell it where this file is in the Explorer, it is going to show me on the Content Explorer where this file is. Similarly, when I come to the Content Explorer and then tell it to show me where is this file is in the list in the TOC, it is going to list. So this is very easy for you to find out where these files are there in the Content Explorer, because as more and more files are created in Content Explorer in any form, whether it is in the form of images, style sheets, table style sheets, or it is going to be in a template page, or any other topics for the matter, whether it's related to concept topic or a class topic or any other reference topic that you keep adding, and then you use only those files that you need for various output, and therefore you create one or more table of contents. You can easily locate where those files are in the Content Explorer and what are the files that are there in the TOC. Now the next one I'm going to talk about is a file tags. See, we have so many files that you have created, but you also want to know the status, what is the status of this file. Okay, so whether it is in progress state or whether it's in completion state or whether you have really started working on some files. So you need to have some status of that particular file. Similarly, if I'm a project manager and I have some few technical writers under me and I have allocated some tasks to them, okay, so then in that case I just want to monitor and manage and see what is the status of each and every files topics that has been allocated to each technical writer. So this way I should be in a position to take control. And similarly, as a technical writer, when I work on any project, I should be in a position to keep track of it. So how do I do this? So I create a file tag. So in order to create a file tag, I'll come to the project organization on the left pane, click on that and go to advanced, which is on the top, and right click it and say I need to add a file tag set. So remember, in order to do this, you need to have two file tags set. One is the author for the authors, and the other one is for the status. Let me create one file tag here. I'll give a name called meta1 here, and then I'll say okay. So I'm creating one file tag set where the name is meta1, the tag type is author. Okay, now I add this to this. I'll add this file tag set. Now I'll type the name of the authors here. For example, this is going to be next. I'll add one more file tag. This time I'll select a new template called my status file tag set, and the file name is meta2 and the tag type is status. Earlier for the first one, meta1 was authors. Okay, now I say okay. Now add this. So now if I double click on meta2, you can see ready for you can see that it is ready for translation, ready for review, in progress, and complete. Okay, so these are the two meta tags which I have created. So it comes under file tag. Now how I am going to assign this authors with those topics and the status. Let me show you the demo. So I go to the Content Explorer, right click on Getting Started, and go to the properties here. Okay, so I have file tag. Now here in author, I'll just choose in author. I'll choose Amit, and then in the file tag, and then I'll come back to status and say that this particular topic is in progress. Okay, and similarly I can go to Similarly I can go to the grid view and assign this file tags for one or more topics. Now we can also link to an external website using the table of contents. I'll add a topic here. Web. Right click this file, go to properties. Then I can tell that it's going to be for http for www. I can specify a link address here. Then I can come to advanced and tell them whether I want to open this in a different browser instance, so that the context is maintained. So I just come here, say browser instance is under blank, and then I say OK. So when I say OK, what happens is you see that the http www.microsoft.com is assigned to this particular topic. It is not a topic within the Content Explorer, but it is a new entry that has been made so that it can link to an external website. Okay, so but it is part of the TOC entry. So now we'll see how working with XML and text editor, conditional indicators and image thumbnail. Let me give you a brief demo about the interface of MadcapFlare. So if you look at the below, there are certain icons. Okay, so you can scale this to the percentage more than 100%. You have structured bars which are available. These are structured bars. They actually tell you what element has been assigned to your topic. And then you have got rulers which are assigned, both horizontal rulers as well as vertical rulers. And then you also have this layout resizer. This layout resizer is for media queries or for mobile. So this content, when used along with a responsive web page, responsive web, will automatically adjust the content based on the device layout. That's called as a layout resizer. So one more thing very important for any people who are working on MadcapFlare is make sure that you have your right mediums. Okay, your right medium. So you have to be very clear about for which medium are you actually creating this output for. So you have to by default, if you are going to choose a default medium, it's fine. But if you are going to choose it for developing content for mobile, print and tablet, you have to choose the appropriate medium. So that's why we say that choose a medium first and start working on your document. If you choose a wrong medium, then you probably have to redo the whole thing based on that particular medium. So as a thumb rule, see that you choose a medium first and start working on the project. Now let me talk about the interface. Here on the right hand side, you have a horizontal split as well as you have a expand pane. So if you click on the horizontal pane, if you click on the horizontal plane or a vertical plane, the interface that you see is in two different windows. One is the content that is actually there in the document. Other one is the code, the HTML code that is visible here for you. So what happens is you can have both of them side by side so that you can understand XML better. You can start entering something here, and you can also see how that particular code is written in this particular XML view. So that will make you understand more about HTML, and also it will help you understand more of the cascading style sheets, which I have been emphasizing right from the beginning. That will be very good for you. Always make it a point that there is no inline styles. That is, you just don't go directly and start applying any style sheet like bold, italics. It is necessary that you apply CSS styles to it so that the document becomes is based on W3 standards. So one more advantage of using this MadcapFlare is, say, if on the left hand side, if you see, you're having a layout view for a web. So whatever document that you are currently using, it may be for a HTML5 5.0 or online help. And second, if you click on web layout for tablet based on the layout resizer and the web layout for mobile, the content will automatically change accordingly. So if I just come and say here, if you see that, so when you switch between the layout medium, the medium automatically changes with it. So if you see that, so if you see here, okay, it becomes like multiple. It becomes like mobile as well as for tablet. Okay, so I can just reset to default, and then if you see that the layout has become for mobile, so I can come to web layout, and then I can come back here. It will go back to medium as a default. So as a MadcapFlare user, you have to be very clear about the mediums and the layout which you are actually using. So mediums actually decides the layout resizer of your particular document. So we are going to talk about the single sourcing solutions that MadcapFlare supports. One is called the one is called you can have a page layout. You can have multiple page layouts, so you can assign to the topics. Similarly, you can have a template page which can be associated based on the requirements of your project. The template could be a side navigation or top navigation or anything that you decide. And it could be a branding page also. And snippet is a reusable component again. So you could use a snippet and use even conditions on snippet so that you don't have to create multiple topics for a particular output. For example, if I have a mobile device and I have a different specifications and features, okay, and I need not have to create two different documents for that. I can just have one document in a form of a table, and I have features listed for both these mobile devices. I apply different conditions for each text in that, and then later on what happens at the runtime means I can just probably go before printing, I can just say that this snippet should be printed for mobile 1 and other same should be for mobile 2, which means I'll be having this snippet, which snippet in the sense, like for example I'll just show you. I'll just show you that, okay, this new snippet. Probably created a snippet folder and put this new snippet.flsnp into that particular file. So here what happens is this, I would create this small text here. Okay, I create a text here, use it as a snippet, and have two different topics, and then apply conditions and generate the output for it. I can create a snippet here for that particular text, and then snippet file is going to new snippet, and then okay, I'll say create. I create a new topic, I say add, and here I would come and insert that particular snippet. This is a snippet. So what happens is, like, I won't be able to edit this snippet because it comes from the snippet file. So if I have two contents, one is for model 1 and other is for model 2, then what will happen is I'll give this here, apply the condition for that. Apply the condition for that. Maybe like I need this for mobile device, okay, and then, or if it is going to be a condition, snippet condition, then I'm going to tell that this is for web, and this is for include for web and exclude for something. So it's basically like conditions are basically you are telling MadcapFlare to whether to include or exclude. So if it is going to be a snippet condition, then I am going to tell whether I need this content for mobile 1 or mobile 2. So there will be two files which will be created, and then I'll go here and I'll go to the topic and say go to the properties and say that I need to apply snippet condition for that particular file. So it means that at the time of creating a output, that you'll see one output is going to be printed for model 1 and the other one is going to be for model 2. But overall, if you see, they are all going to have this two content in one single file. That is, like, you have model 1 and model 2 of that particular mobile in one single file with a condition applied on the content. So and then later on you come to the properties and choose a snippet condition at the file level, and then you can generate the output. So there are conditions which can be applied at the topic level and at the same time at the file level, or even at the time of a target level also. And the other one is I wanted to insert an image in the file. So if I come and insert an image, okay, I can just insert a small image. But then if the image is very big and then I'm unable to do editing and even try to review the content that I've written, in that case you can go to this show marker and go to the images and make it as a thumbnail image. So the moment you make a thumbnail image, you'll see that the image size is very small. So, but mind that even if the image is very small, the size of the image will not be impacted in any way. It will be of the same size, and the aspect ratio will also be the same. So it's only for your convenience to see more content inside the workspace than just having a big image which is in the workspace. So next one is you want to view the output even before you try to generate to the target. Like for example, you want to generate an output into a HTML file. So in that case, what happens is you may have to build that particular MadcapFlare document. So which is not necessary in this case. So for example, here on the left hand side, if you see target, there is only one target which is called as a HTML5. Okay, if you had a PDF file or online help and many other targets, then you can go to this particular this particular preview mode, and then switch between various targets that you have, and have a quick view of all the how you can have a quick view of the document. For example, if you have a PDF file, you can just click on this particular with the preview button and have the same content displayed for you in various outputs that you have chosen. Here the target is only HTML5, which is primary. And also you have a condition expression here, so you can just quickly go and tell what should be the output for this particular file. So condition expression is very important thing. You can apply it here and let them know what needs to be included, what needs to be excluded. So you could very well say that I wanted this particular topic to display as a print only, and would like to exclude the rest of the things, would like to exclude all other things. So based on this, what happens that the rules are applied to your document, and then at the time of generating the time of build or generating the output, all these conditions are taken care of and the output is generated accordingly. Coming to the 11th item, which is called as unbind. See, what happens is whenever you keep applying a lot of tags to a particular content in the topic, you rather sometimes would like to reassign that particular tag. You want to just undo that tag, or you want to just go and say that, okay, what are the tags I have applied for this particular paragraph, I just want to unbind it, which means I don't need any tag to be assigned to it. For example, if I come here, if I come here, right click, I have something called unbind. If I say unbind, you'll see that the tag is gone. And the same thing, if I just come and say this here, if I come here and say that I want, so you will find that unbind is gone. So you'll say it becomes a normal text. So sometimes you feel that you have given a wrong element to associating to that particular paragraph, but you want to unbind that. It becomes easy for you. So this is the 11th item in the list of items that I have shown you before. Okay, now here we have covered double-click TOC entries, grid view, file list, locate TOC, locate explorer, file tags, linking to external website, working in the XML and text editor, conditional indicators, so that I'll be showing you now. The snippet conditions, where I said that you can have different contents on one single topic, and you can assign snippet conditions at the runtime. And then using topics, using unbind. Now we'll look into font set. So in order to go to font set and to assign font family, you have to go to the style sheet. Okay, so here if you see the style sheet on the left hand side, the content explorer, I have style sheet, which is style.css. I have to double click on this particular style sheet in order to open this in a style sheet editor. So now I just want to give some font family and font set. So on the top, if you see there's a style sheet editor, view advanced, add selector, rename, CSS variable, medium, and options. Make sure that your medium is the right medium that you have chosen. Okay, so always keep in mind that your medium is correct. Now here I want to create a font family. Now how do I do that? Because what I will do is I'll go to this options menu and then create a manage a font family set. Here I already have some font family set here, but then for the demo sake, I'll just create one more. When I click on this, when I click on this, I get this dialog box called define font set. I'll go here and say like, okay, meta percept. Let this be the name that I'm going to. So I'll go and create a monospace. I'll go and say Algerian, blackmail. This basically to tell you that in case if I have a font, which is applied as a monospace in my document, and that document is not available in the system where the viewers are going to view my content, then the next subsequent font will be chosen. For example, if the monospace is not there, Algeria will be taken, or else Arial black will be taken. Or I can also just rearrange that once again on the top, and then I say okay, MetaPercept, okay, fine, MetaPercept, come here. I'll say okay. Now I can go and apply that particular font family to my document, or add a property to any of the styles that is there on the style. Now I have entered the font family. Now I will come on the right hand side, I click here and go to MetaPercept here. Okay, so this is the font family that is going to be used. Similarly, if I want to take out this, I can also create a font family using the CSS variable. So let me say that I add a new CSS variable. I come here to root. I'll say this as okay. Then I'll come here and say that okay, this is a font family. I'll come here and say MetaPercept. Okay. Now I'll say okay. Okay. So I can come here. I can come here also can insert a CSS variable. You can see MetaPercept here. So this is a variable. I can just say this. So variable MetaPercept is there. So in this demonstration, if you see, I have created a font family, I have created font set, and I have associated. I have created this using the manage font sets, and then I also created CSS variable and associated that to the font family. So my sincere recommendation is you have to start using. Trying to understand more of CSS, but that will make your life more easier. Okay, and also if you want to create some variable, for example, if you want to create a paragraph style, or you want to have a span style, but there are two different styles of the same attributes like font sizes 10, 12, color and all that, you can make it as a generic class. So on the top, if you see, it's a generic class. Okay, so it's a generic class. So what do I mean by generic classes? You can just specify it once. You can go and specify that once in the generic class, and later on you can just go and start applying that particular class to everything. Well, let us also try that. So here, if you see, I have created a generic class by name Prabhu. Okay, and then if I go to the source code, or if I go to the style sheet editor and come down here, you will see that it is Prabhu's Go font family is equal to MetaPercept. So if you look at this generic style, it starts with a dot and the name style, dot and same style. So you can just apply this particular style to any element. It could be a paragraph element, it could be a bullet list, or anything for the matter. So it will take all the attributes and it can be applied on any type of element. It's not like if I define something for paragraph, it will be applied only for paragraph. If I created some style definition for span tag, I will be applying only for span. This is general, this is generic. So dot Prabhu with a MetaPercept as a font family can be applied in your document anywhere in the topic. Similarly, you can also, the 15th item is color picker. Similarly, you can also choose various colors, assign the hexa value for that, and also create a CSS variable for that color and apply it in your document. For example, I'll just create a style. I'll create a CSS. I will create a CSS variable for color. I'll click on the CSS variable, create a new variable, or it could be create selectors, and I'll keep this name as meta color. Okay, so I'll just probably we will be aware or something. Okay, I'll just put this as it. I'll come to property types, click on color, and here I can just go to more colors, or I can go to color, pick screen color. If I pick on screen color, I can just click. You can just go to any part of the screen and choose a the color you want. I can go here and say, when I click on this, if you see the value will be the value is 5775 here. Okay, so when I click now, I click here now, I can go and save this color. I can go and save this color, and then I can come and I can just rename it meta color here. Okay, and just say okay, and then say fine. Now I can come here and save font color and say okay, then come here, then go to CSS variable, insert CSS variable here, then choose that it is going to be meta color. Okay, so in this way what happens is I can choose color picker, assign that hexa value there, store it as a CSS variable, or also I can add as a CSS selector, create a class, and then also can assign all this. So basically what happens is whenever you work on any project, whenever you work on, for example, a maintenance project that comes from someone who is very well experienced in MadcapFlare, who has already created a document, and it comes to you, and when you are given the responsibility to work on that particular project, it is necessary that you go and have a full control of that particular project. You understand how these properties have been assigned, what is the role of each of the variable, the reusable component that has been used, how this where meta percept is, how the variables are added in the CSS, how the font family is created, how the font color is created, how the generic style sheet is created. Okay, all this if you try to understand, it will be very easy for you. Now we are coming to linking style sheets. For example, let me tell you, I'm going to talk about a global project linking. Assume that your project manager has got 4 projects with him, okay, various documents which he has got, and he has got one style sheet which he has got. Now the question here is, whenever I'm a part of a documentation team, I'll try to get those. I'll try to get those files from that a single file repository, and also the style sheet, a single style sheet that could be shared, which has been used for various projects. Now my question here is, like if I go and modify that particular style sheet, what would happen? The problem is, like, because it is a global project linking, anything that changes in the central repository, that will be reflected on all the people who are sharing that particular style in that particular document. Okay, so therefore it is recommended that you have your own local style sheet, and then you bring the style sheet which is there in the central repository, and link it to your local style sheets. Let me show you the demo of that particular thing. Okay. Now here I've got a CSS style sheet. Okay. Now I'm going to create one more style sheet called create a new style sheet called meta. Okay, I'm going to create it as meta percept. Okay, and this style sheet, meta percept. Now this style sheet is going to use the style sheet CSS. Okay. Now I will come and double click on metapercept.css. Okay, what I did now is I right clicked on the metapercept.css and came here and said I want to open this with the internal text editor. So the editor is open now. So if you come here, I wanted to link this to the stylesheet.css, which is a main CSS sheet which is being used as a global project linking. Now how will I do this? So now I will click on style sheet links. Since I know that I need to add a CSS, the main style sheet into my local style sheet, which is a MetaPercept.css. Have to click on CSS and then move it to the right. Okay, now when I move it to the right and say OK, so when I clicked on the style sheet link, the style sheet.css is included in this, and when I go to MetaPercept.css and see that, you'll see that import is css.style is added to my file. So this chella.css is a file, the local file which I have here, or you can also say the MetaPercept.css is a file that I have, and you can see that this particular style sheet is being added to my local style sheet. So this style.css is actually coming from the global project linking, and CSS style or a MetaPercept style is a local style sheet that I'm trying to maintain for this project within this environment. So you can also can bring in import styles that are only specific to your requirements. For example, the global positioning style. When I import the style sheet, okay, the import style sheet dialog box displays list of all the imported tags. For example, all the styles that have been declared, like a p.concept, tags, a class, and anything. So you can just go and click whichever tags you want to be imported from the global project linking file, and then you can include that in your linked file. So you need not have to just include all the styles that have been defined in that particular main style. So this is very important. And finally, I'm going to show what would happen if I just include a folder into a TOC. Okay, so if I just copy this features.toc and move it inside the TOC, okay, inside the TOC, I have a list of feature 1, feature 2, feature 3, feature 4. Okay, so what would happen if I just generate a HTML file out of it? Okay, let me see. Let me go and build the output for this particular file. Let me save this file, and then let me go and generate this target. No, I'll just click on this and say build HTML, then says yes. Now let me double click and see how the output looks like. If I come here and see, we've got feature 1, feature 2, feature 3, feature 4, feature 6. Okay, so you see that the topics are well aligned in this particular folder. Or in case you find that this B feature topic is repeated again below that, then in that case what you have to do is you have to go here. Go to the TOC, right click on this feature topic, go to properties, and choose this particular option called when merging replace node with the merger TOC. That's very important. Otherwise you will get a duplicate of it. You will get a duplicate of the topic on the left hand side of the side menu. Okay, this is very important that you need to understand. Finally, let us see let us get a report to generate a report. So on generating, right click on this, click here and get a report file. Choose choose this particular report. Now you can see the list of reports that you can generate from this project. So one thing is you can print on this bookmarks. You can use concepts. You can also click on conditional tags, content files, CSS, file tags, glossary items. So whichever one you want to just print. If you want to, this will give a summary information all about the images, the broken links, the external links that are part of your project files. So you can get a report of all this. So and then after choosing, you can just come and generate the output. Okay. Once you generate the output, it will create an output file that is listed like this, or you can just open this in the browser. So it will give you some data about it. Now currently there's not much of data that I've generated, so I just only for an example. So you can come and generate the report. That's very important. You can also export this to an, you know, so you can just go on, get a report of the broken links, broken bookmarks, external links, absolute links, named destinations. That is, named destinations are those are external servers indexing keyword links, and also you can go and see what are the undefined glossary terms. You might have defined some variables variables in your document, but might not have used it. So we have to see how it is possible. Okay, so these are all based on the single sourcing solution that you can use all this. Okay, so you can take a print of this report and go and fix all those issues which you feel are broken links. So one more thing that we missed here in this is called the variable. So variables are called as a reusable component. It's called as a single sourcing, one of the single sourcing solutions. So in order to create a variable, you have to go to a variable in the project organization. So right click it, go and create a variable set. So then now I create this as a meta, and then I say add. Okay, so here I can come and add a variable. Say the new variable, this variable is going to be like we can say that is meta percept, and then we want to say that definition here is going to be like then to LMS. Okay, but remember that they are also into many other activities. Okay, so I'll come here and click on this definition, and I can say that they are also into technical writing, technical writing, and then I can also, and again I can go there. I say I want to add another definition and say that they are into data. Okay, now come and save this file. Now if you see this under meta percept, I've got LMS, technical writing, and data. So I've got three variables which are associated, variable definition which are associated with a variable called meta percept. So in case if I come to any of the document, any document, for example, I'm coming to getting started document, then I say I want to insert. So I'll quickly go through what is MadcapFlare. MadcapFlare is a powerful single sourcing publishing tool for creating, managing, and delivering content. Supports multi-channel publishing, so you can publish it to either web, PDF, Word, EPUB, and many more. Is used for technical documentation, knowledge bases, policies, and procedures. Okay. And what are the key features of a MadcapFlare? It's very important because analogy is to think of a flare as a professional kitchen. Okay, each tool has a purpose. Okay, and when you use together, it creates a seamless workflow. So it's a topic-based authoring, like building blocks that allows writers to reuse and manage content efficiently. I said your Content Explorer has got a n number of files. You bring only those required files to your table of contents. You can have one or more table of contents, and you can start using them as a building block. And you can also use a snippet as a building block. Okay, single sourcing, you can say the content is used across different outputs. So which means like you use a conditional set, you get a snippet conditional set. You can also assign to various output devices. You can have it for various web to targets like web or PDF or EPUB and many other things. Content reuse, I am talking about snippet and variables. Snippet is a block of text that could be used. So if you just go to the if you go to Google and type some text, so any matching text will just give you a list of topics associated to that search criteria. You will find those the output into featured snippets, and one on the left and the right hand side as a knowledge pane. So you have two different panes in Google search. We also have multi-channel publishing. So we said as earlier that it's It can be for various devices such as PDF, HTML, Word, and built-in analytics, because you can just go and track where are your broken links. You can have a summary of all those details, and also you can have some analytical things of how is the images, whether you have any broken links, whether you have any summary of all this information. So those are very important. Like for example, if you come here and go to project, of the analysis, and see you can generate all the various reports for these topics, and you can also see what are the links here. You can check for all those links, and you can also get a summary of all the information that is part of your project files. So all this could be done here. Okay, so interface tool, it has a standard starter page with a ribbon, which they are context sensitive, and based on the content your ribbon icons also change. So using the start page, you can also create a new project or new files, and then manage those projects and manage those tasks. Okay, so ribbon toolbar and panel, like a control panel with switches for different tools and settings. As I said, like you can control most of the content within the topic or workspace using the context sensitive based ribbon toolbar, or other icons which are there in the workspace also. XML based is a dual screen mode, because you can have both the text editor screen as well as you can also view them in the XML screen, so both side by side, so that you can know how the contents that are written in text mode is written into an XML mode. It's very easy for you to understand various other intricacies of creating XML document. Okay, now next one is, you also know how to create a this presentation already assumed that the writers have already created some topics in the content project, and they also have created some topics, snippets, style sheets, and media. The media here, I'm talking about the medium. Okay, also what type of medium they want, whether they want a print media, the mobile media, or web media. And also media means also talks about the various images, whether they are referenced to the source topic or they are embedded in the content. And we also talk about the naming convention, so that there is some consistency across topics, so that you can identify what content is there in the topic. Okay, so we also talked about snippet and snippet conditions. So it's like it's a sort of a content reuse. It saves time and effort, and it also helps you create multiple documents based on the certain conditions applied on that particular block. So finally, like, we are coming to the end of it. So for more information, please contact training@MadcapFlare.com. I hope you enjoyed this session. The intention here is basically to give a clear picture of all the functionality features at a very quick glance, so that whenever you start working as a single service provider in a documentation, or if you work in a team which has got different expertise in MadcapFlare, you can just first go and start fixing those issues and trying to start learning later about more in detail about certain functionality and features. Just an overview of it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to get in touch with the training@MadcapFlare.com.